What would you do with a free Saturday? That was the question that faced ultra runners Dr. Andrew Murray and Donnie Campbell. They decided they wanted a challenge.
Whenever you're doing something hard, you kind of look forward to it, but there's a wee part of you that's scared as well.
And this is what they come up with: to run up the 10 highest mountains in Scotland in just one day. This is an attempt at a new record.
There is a risk of failure, you know, we might not achieve it. For something to be a challenge, you know, it's got to be a risk of failure. If it was plain sailing, then it'd just be doing it for fun.
I suppose you can only do your best, can't you? But to be honest, I'll be raging if I don't make it.
There's no doubting the pedigree of these two athletes. Andrew took just 85 days to run from Scotland to Morocco, while Donnie once ran the equivalent of 7 marathons back to back without sleep. And they're no stranger to each other's company either.
Every New Year time, I get this phone call from Andrew going, "I've got these ideas, are you free? Do you fancy it?" And I'm like, well, it depends. This one seemed like a no-brainer. Scotland, haven't done a challenge in Scotland in a while. Nicest parts of Scotland, 10 highest Munros. So it seemed like a really good challenge.
They've spent months planning and preparing. It's just after 4 in the morning on 19th of July, and this is the Ben Lawrie car park. The forecast for the day didn't look good, with thunderstorms and torrential rain predicted. However, they could be in for a welcome surprise.
Morning. There must be a mistake, it's not actually raining. So we're heading up Ben Lawyers now, which is the 10th highest mountain in Scotland and the lowest hill that we'll be going on today. But it's not too windy, it's not too rainy thus far, so pretty much looking forward to it. Should be good.
The 10 summits in this challenge lie in a number of different mountain ranges. The first hill, Ben Lawries, is an isolated summit. After this, Andrew and Donnie will travel over to the Anach and Nevis hills for the next 4 tops. Then it's on to the final 5 in the Cairngorms.
There's going to be a lot of uphill and there's going to be a lot of downhill. That's not going to come as a surprise, but it's how we actually deal with it. The terrain in Scotland's pretty variable. Some of it's path, some of it's bog, some of it's really rocky, some of it's ridge, some of it's quite blowy up there. And it's just about practicing, getting some hills in, getting hill fit as well as actually properly fit. So part of it you don't quite know, but that's part of the fun of it. We've done our training, we've put ourselves in a reasonable position, and we're just getting out there and seeing what it's actually like.
They've reached the summit of their first mountain in just under an hour, and they're already ahead of the detailed schedule worked out by Donnie.
Donnie is some guy. He's a former Royal Marine Commando, he's a personal trainer, so I think his motivation and his mental strength are something that I'm pretty jealous of. You'll never see Donnie actually pulling the covers back over his head, he'll always be out there training. Mentally he's pretty tough, no matter what the weather is, Donnie will be there. He'll never complain.
That's Ben Lawyers done, only 9 to go. It's good to get one kind of under your belt and then just think almost that the day's underway. And I can't say I've often been up my nose before 6 o'clock, but there you go, it was maybe the first.
That's because you like your bed.
I am not an early bird.
Part of the challenge is actually marrying up the logistics and the running, so getting everything right. It's not just one part of the challenge that's going to be hard. I think there's so many things that we've tried to plan for and eventualities that nothing's straightforward. The routes as well that we've selected, we spent many hours running the routes beforehand, trying to figure out the best route on the mountain and also how to link the 10 up so it's the quickest route possible.
Great to see you, mate. Not a bad day for it.
I know, I brought everything, rain jackets, jumpers, no sun cream, no sun hat.
No.
Throughout this challenge, they'll be getting practical and moral support. Joining them for the Nevis Range Hills is Britain's 24-hour track champion Marco Consani, who we've commandeered as an impromptu cameraman. From his previous record-breaking attempts, Andrew knows the importance of having strong support on the hill. But what's the attraction of this kind of extreme running?
Some folk do it because it gives them something to do, a sense of companionship. Sharing the pain, sharing the rain, sharing the views. Some folk do it because it's helpful for health. And some people do it because they're really competitive, because they want to be the best that they can, because they want to set records. And I guess there's a wee bit of all of that in myself and in Donnie. You're looking to keep well, you're looking to have fun, you're looking to really test yourself and see what you can do.
So this is the second mountain we've done, Annick Moor, then we're heading on to Annick Beg. Baz in Scotland, it's just clagged over just as you hit the top. Welcome to Scotland.
Hopefully when we drop down, go up to Campbell, that the sun will come back out, and hopefully Ben Nevis will be cloud free. And so fingers crossed that we can have a nice afternoon. I got into long distance running when I finished uni. I was actually 17 stone. And I just took up running to get fit again to play shinty and football. And I could barely run 5k without being absolutely done in. And one of my friends said, "Do you fancy this race in Islay Enduro? It's 150 miles over 5 days." And I thought, now that's a challenge I like. Finished fourth, met Andrew, we've been friends ever since. And he's took me along in so many of his capers now that it's getting a bit ridiculous.
It's pretty hard work. You definitely do with a wee sit down.
But that's going to have to wait. There are still 7 summits ahead. They've yet to negotiate the steep Carnmore Gerrag arête, the crowds on Ben Nevis, and the last most remote mountains on their challenge. We'll be back later in the programme to see whether Donnie and Andrew succeed in tackling Scotland's 10 highest mountains in one day.